Hey guys, welcome to the Investor's Guide of Memphis Real Estate. I'm your host, Dean Harris, and as always, I'm with Douglas Skipworth. How you, buddy?
Hey man, doing great.
We're bringing you this podcast to give you the boots on the ground knowledge to be a successful real estate investor here in Memphis, Tennessee. Please like and subscribe to the Investor's Guide of Memphis Real Estate on your YouTube channel, Spotify, Facebook, wherever, Apple Music, wherever you listen to the podcast. Show sponsored are listed on your screen below. We would not be able to do this show or run our own rental business without these guys. Trump Construction, River City Title, Corland Financial, CrestCore Property Management, and our buddy Will Griffin over at Griffin, Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer. I help buyers and sellers every day. If you have anything to sell, if you'd like to get our buyer profile link sent to you so you can start receiving our houses we source every day, dean@crestcore.com. What's up, man?
All right.
Yeah, exciting times. Last podcast was about interest rates dropping,
Yes.
and we've seen an interest rate drop where activity's picking up, so we're excited about that. Go back and listen to that podcast and the couple of before it. Zip code breakdown is released and is out, so we just did the zip code breakdown for all of our investment zip codes. That's on all of our podcast platforms. You can go listen to that too. So excited for that. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that's been, we'll be a little more natural about this than maybe following exactly, but a topic that's been red hot to me recently. I've had 2 or 3 buyers come to me, and they have asked me questions about buyer's agency agreements. And what does that look like? And for just a little bit of a disclaimer here, each state is going to have different real estate laws and rules. So we're only going to talk about Tennessee here today. So there could be different buyer's agency laws in other states and how you're supposed to sign stuff and represent stuff. We're going to talk about Tennessee today because that's what we hit.
Well, I mean, buyer agency sounds so technical and really.
Oh, it's just
it's
just the most professional thing ever. No, it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't like it. It's a term that the real estate commissions have asked us to designate a role in a transaction and who we are and what we are
as a real estate agent representing a buyer.
Yes,
you are their agent. You have agency, and then there are different types of agreement
and levels.
Any different types of buyer agency agreement that you as the agent would enter with the buyer.
Yeah. So let me tell you how I came up with this topic.
Okay.
Right? This is what we got, kind of comes a little more natural, and Alec, our producer, asked us to do this. So I had the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 calls from buyers that have signed, and I'm going to go through these terms.
Investors who are
These are investors. Sorry,
investors. Investor buyers who are coming to you.
Yep, that have called me, and they have signed an exclusive buyer's agency agreement with another agent here in town. Okay, and they've asked me, hey, do you work with off market? We're having a conversation, and I'm asking them that question. I'm like, hey, are you working with anyone else? That's a common question to ask, just to kind of get that out of the way. And they were like, well, yes, I've done this, and I've bought one home, and I have this agreement signed. So I had him send it to me to make sure. I was like, yep, that's an exclusive buyer's agency agreement, and here's what that means.
Okay, good. Tell us what it means.
That means that he is your agent, and he is exclusively your agent for the length and the time that's on this contract, meaning whatever you go buy a property, he's due a real estate commission that he states whatever percentage is on that exclusive buyer's agency agreement for him. Okay? So if you go out and he closes a deal and they work it, and he's offered commission with by a seller and he gets paid, that's great. But here's where this is where we're live now.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this buyer decides he wants to come to me and ask me some questions about a certain product I can provide, which are off-market wholesale deals.
Okay.
I work in that world.
Yeah, of course we do.
It's necessary.
Yeah, for investors. That's what you do for investors.
I have deep, long-lasting relationships with wholesalers across the city that we've been working on for forever. It's part of an advantage of what I can provide you as the buyer. So, and I said, man, unfortunately, you're under a contract with that agent. You're going to have to continue working with that agent, or we're going to have to figure out a way to pay this agent on every deal that you're working.
Everybody's going to have to get paid.
And what it really does, it's not a whining moment for me. I don't particularly care. I'll let that expire and I'll work with you later. I'm not going anywhere. But what the real hamstring in this is to the buyer.
Right.
You're limited, and maybe if I'm bouncing around, slow me down.
No, I'm just thinking like, why would a buyer sign that? But
I
maybe
have
that's
no
where you're going.
idea.
Like,
They don't
what
know.
advantage is there for a listener, a buyer, to sign an exclusive agency agreement?
None.
A buyer exclusive
I'd
buyer
love
agency.
to know. I'd love to know one. Because the only advantage I'm hearing is that you're marrying one agent and one opportunity, and that's it.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is, why, as an investor, would you limit yourself to just one property source? I don't tell you as an investor, and you talk to me on the phone, I've never said to you, "Hey, I'm the only one that can source properties in this town."
Wait, no.
You know, with my Western, I'm the only game in town. No, I mean, I have to legally sign now. Now, here's the Tennessee Real Estate Commission. So time out on what you should do. When we write an offer and we get under contract, we have to sign a buyer's agency agreement. And at the bottom in the special stipulation sections on every one of these deals, I write that address in here and that this is only applicable to this address.
Right.
123 Main Street, we're offering $100,000. This buyer's agency agreement, because I have to do that per the Tennessee Real Estate Commission laws, and that's what we do.
Yes.
But it only applies to that house.
You have to have Tennessee Real Estate Commission requires you as the seller or the buyer representative, so working with the buyer, to disclose your relationship, define it, document it, and that's what you do. But it's only when they make an offer on that house.
That's it.
What if they make an offer on another house
without me?
No. With you, they make an offer on this 123 Main Street and now 456 Main Street.
We'll write up a separate one for 456 Main Street.
And then 789 Main Street.
Separate one.
Separate one.
Yeah, I need to earn
on
commission.
each deal.
I need to earn whatever I'm earning and making as a real estate commission on each deal. I don't want to just set you up. Then you go out and you hustle because I get lazy and don't send you deals and don't send you the right thing, or I just stick you on the email automatic, MLS email out, which is just lazy agent work.
Right.
But if that's all you're getting, it's like, okay, now you're limited to the computer automation and someone that you're going to call and ask questions about it when you get it.
Right.
Which is wild to me, because then that guy, because now he's pigeonholed into another few months of this circumstance where he's got to stay with that agent. Now, he's going to talk to the person, try to get out of it or whatever. But my point is that that's a legal binding document, and technically they can hold you to that.
Yes.
Now,
which again, we're saying we don't, it's hard to understand, because as an investor, you as a listener here, me as an investor, I like you.
Yeah.
And you have represented me.
Yeah.
On purchases and sales.
Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens, if not 100.
And it might hurt your feelings.
But you're going to buy something from somebody else if it's a deal.
It might hurt your feelings.
No, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Hey, because you're going to do the same thing.
Oh, gosh.
Like any investor is.
Tomorrow, I want you, hey, matter of fact, I want you to go get that deal.
Yeah.
I didn't get it to you. I don't earn a commission. Congrats, high five. Hopefully it goes well. You'll build a bigger portfolio, and I can go work harder to source you something better.
There you go.
This is a hot topic for me.
I love it.
It is, and it's a hot topic for me because I'm now. Let me bounce here. It's a hot topic because I believe that it's strong enough for a buyer that I need to be this strong verbally and dramatically to let you know how bad you're pigeonholing yourself. I just don't believe in them. I don't believe that it's the right way to be a buyer in our market ever. Now, here's the only way to sign those, and here's why you're like, well, why does the real estate commission? Okay, they are there for one good reason. If you're buying a residential retail home,
sure,
and the buyer's agent is loading you up in the car and they're driving you around for weeks on end, and investing,
they're sending you properties
and investing things to you, and they're pouring into you, and that's different representation. They need it signed. They don't need to get in the car without having it signed, exclusively signed. I get it, so I'm fine with that. Like, that is different from our world.
So there's
relevance for it somewhere.
It's relevant to an owner occupant looking for a house, one purchase over a 5-year period, and they're going to go over the next 6 months, and we're going to look at them on the weekend, and you're going to mail them, and we're going to talk, and we're going to go to open houses together, agent. And then all of a sudden, the buyer finds a deal and cuts out that agent, and that agent has earned the commission.
Showed them
through the relationship,
likely showed them the house and was the procuring cost,
but missed out on that particular deal. Okay, so there's a reason why why it's there and why you would sign it. But from an investment perspective,
never in our world, never.
It doesn't seem. I can't see it. I'm having trouble seeing why it would make sense. I've never signed one. Been doing this 20 plus years.
You know who it makes sense for?
That agent.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I don't. Yeah.
That's the only person it makes sense for is the agent.
But like we've been investors, we've been repping investors for years and years and years. And it's like, no, we'll go find your deals, but you find your, and I guess that's why, because you're a strong investor. I've been investing a long time. It's like, man, I know that I love you and I'm going to use you, but I'm also going to use
whoever brings me a deal.
Whoever brings me a deal.
I want to buy, and it's the same way that I would want anyone to treat me. Yeah. Hey, Dean, as a matter of fact, I've even gone as far as to offer up, hey, you want me to vet it for you? Come buy from me next time. Send it to me. I didn't get it for you. I didn't source it for you. Cool. You want to know what I think? And we've been working together. We shoot it over. Really, that's representation.
Yeah.
I just don't have to have a piece of paper signed that I'm doing it. That's repping someone. No matter if I'm actually a part of the deal or not, I'm actually just here to help you. And if I can be part of the deal, great, or a deal. I just need to work harder to source you what you're looking for. How about you learn something from that transaction? Oh, that's what you buy. Yeah, this isn't giving a lesson on how to be an agent, but it is important to me to get it out that never, in my opinion, should you as an investor pigeonhole yourself into an exclusive buyer's agency agreement that goes beyond the house you're offering.
Yeah, I'd love to know in the comments or wherever feedback of like why you would sign those as an investor. What are you getting that we're missing?
That's right.
Because I'm missing it. I loved your example of the owner occupant. Again, I'm just going from my own personal experience of like, I've been doing this. I've offered on hundreds of houses. And
if you came here and you were doing multifamily,
and I want to be nimble. I want to use the agent that's going to get me the best deal on that, or to go off market or whatever. You know, it just,
I've always felt like
looking for the best deal.
I've always felt like too, and this is obviously the world doesn't work like this, but I've also felt like too that if I was doing a good enough job and I was sourcing the right deals, like who needs any of this anyway? I got to have it because the real estate commission has it. We got to sign it. But who really needs it anyway?
If
you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're properly representing and you're keeping in contact with your buyer and you're constantly trying to source deals and thinking for them and looking out for them. Who needs a buyer's agency agreement?
Yeah.
Why do you think this person came to me? Because the source that they were at didn't have something they were looking for. That ought to tell you enough about what we're doing anyway. I can find you both. I mean, this wasn't a self-promotion podcast. It was just about being careful to not put yourself into a situation where someone else can't send you a deal. They can't send you, they can send it to you, but you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Or you got to go get your agent.
Have to pay more.
You got to go get your, oh, thanks for working hard. Let me go get this guy involved here because I got this agreement signed with him.
Yeah.
You imagine? And then he's got to feel some worth.
The investor has to pay more, right?
Yeah. Well, then he's got to feel some worth too, because then he'll come in and screw it up and go find another one. I've lived this a trillion times. I could get off. This is one of those tangents I could get off on, but it is the truth. You know, I'll go source a deal and it's like they got this buyer's agent agreement signed. I'm like, okay, it's a deal here. Then the other agent feels a little weird because they weren't working and they find something wrong with it and we move on to the next thing. You know, it's like I've seen that playbook 100 times. And I'll even tell the guy, hey, your agent's going to kill this thing because they didn't provide it, but get back to me when that thing expires and we'll get serious. So, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people play games in our field. They come in and dabble in it. And they play around and they dabble in what we're doing, and it shows.
And I guess a question that comes to mind is, we've talked about this a lot on the podcast. You are perennially, every year in, year out, the number one, maybe two, maybe three, in an off year. In an off year on transactions.
Yes.
And sometimes even on dollar volume amount of the agent in town selling deals. And there's some other agents who show up in the top 25.
Yeah. And I handle every transaction just like this.
And do they? The ones who are constantly in the top 25, is that the way those investor agents are the top 5 that you've dealt with year in, year out? I would think they would be.
Most of them try to do that on every deal.
Try to do what?
Exclusive buyer on
every deal.
Yeah,
because they work with enough investors. They work with you. That's kind of how the market is. I guess what I'm saying, I guess where I was going with that is like, it seems like an experienced investor agent isn't going to
Oh, you're saying are my top 2 or 3 competitors making people sign exclusive? No.
Oh.
Nah. No, I'm not.
Because they know what they're.
They know how to play
It sounds
this.
strong, right? They know what they're doing. And, are you saying that these other agents, am I saying these other agents? It sounds like I'm saying these other agents might not know what they're doing by making people sign it, or they're rookies.
That is 100% the fact. That's a rookie move, no doubt.
There you go.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Signing the exclusive buyer's agent agreement in the investor world is straight up rookie move. No, and that's
because the pros aren't doing that.
Hell no.
The guys who are way up there.
There's
in the
2
top.
guys I'm thinking about right now.
Same.
That are competitors that are direct, kind of do the same. They know what they're doing. Clearly not as good as we are, but no.
But
they do the same thing, and
have been doing it a long time. That's kind of how I was thinking about. And they're more than 2. There's others that are folded back that are working for other property management companies or other real estate firms in town.
Shout out to the OG Greg Glosson. You think Greg Glosson's having people sign that? Man, I love Greg. He's the OG with the investor deals. I don't think he does it much anymore, but shout out to Greg Glosson, man. You think he's having anybody sign exclusive buyer's No. And if you sign one, let it expire, try to get out of it, and let's start getting serious about sourcing you deals, and I'll earn it on every single one of these. So we went round and round through this topic today, and mainly just sat here and went back and forth on it. So we haven't really skipped anything I wanted to say, but be cautious when an agent asks you to sign an exclusive buyer rep agreement when we're working in the investor world. I mean, in Tennessee, in Memphis, we don't see it. You shouldn't see it much because the 3 or 4 of us that do this are pretty good at what we do and don't have to necessarily do that. I'll earn every bit of commission that I get by sourcing right deals for people on a per deal basis.
Finding the listener the deal. That's how you're going to get paid.
They're going to lead. You have to prove it on every time.
Yeah.
Because if I sell you 5 houses and number 6 is a flat out dog, you're probably going to go somewhere else. Because if it goes bad, it goes bad. See what I mean? So it's like, but if you're in that exclusive buyer's agency agreement and he sells you a couple and the third one is a dog and it's bad, there is no clause that gets you out of because it's a bad deal. You're still in it. Mm-hmm. So I would just encourage you to limit what you sign as far as representation. With me, you're going to get it on the house that we're offering on and get under contract on because that's the Tennessee Real Estate Commission law, and I'm going to do that. But if I didn't have to do that, I wouldn't even do that.
Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't make you sign anything. You're signing the offer with my name on it. That's enough. But we're going to follow the rules.
Yeah, we can follow the rules.
But anyway, so I thought it was a good topic. Any questions on any of this? Dean at CrestCore.com. I'll be happy to talk about this further, talk about why I do or don't do it, or why some others do and don't do it. That'll be the red button there. So Dean at CrestCore.com. If you have any other questions about this or anything else, shoot it over. We'll see you next time.
Bye.